What is the worst text message you've ever sent to the wrong person? On vacation, my father flew myself and my girlfriend at the time to visit him in Texas, where we would meet up with my sister and brother as well. My girlfriend and I had only been dating for 3 months at the time, and so we're still very sexual at any opportunity. So I texted her, "When we get to the hotel tonight, let's have sex in the shower so I can come all over you," and accidentally sent it to my father, who was the last person I texted, telling him our plane had landed. Thankfully, he had just been showing off his brand new phone, so once I realized my error, and before he could read the text, I asked him if I could check out his new phone, and quickly deleted it. This will get buried, I hope. Sent a dick pic to my mom instead of my girlfriend. Edit. Ooh, worst part was my mom thought something was wrong and told me to go to the hospital. Then she called to make sure I was okay. I was too embarrassed to answer, so she answered for me. That was the first time they had met each other. My phone doesn't save names on some occasions and instead only saves numbers, so I know contacts by the last 3 digits. My girlfriend's number ends in 838. My girlfriend's stepdad's number ends in 838. I sent him a message simply saying, "Heading off to bed now, we'll talk to you tomorrow, love you X." He replied with, "I love you too, but I think you should also tell Alice that just in case she gets jealous. Hope you're naked when I get there." Sent to my son's daycare provider. She's 65 and 300 pounds. Intended for my wife of the same first name. The daycare lady handled the text well. "You don't want me to be naked? I'm glad you guys still have a spark." Wow, is that a breath of fresh air to read her response? That could have gone awfully. "I love you and miss you," sent to an ex who was bordering on stalker. "You done goofed the fuck up, son. Time to change phone number, and address, and name. And also load up a gun. Got my rods lined up, cooler is full of beer, and boat is in the water. See you at the dock in 20. I sent that to my boss only a few minutes after sending him. I'm not feeling so good today and won't be in. We had this girl get pregnant at our work. She immediately starts pulling cards and reduces her job to like 10% of what it was. If it was up to me, she would get like a 1.5 years of maternity leave, but it's not, so I had to have her in there filling a shift that could be better filled by someone else. My boss wouldn't let me schedule additionals, so we get stuck pulling her weight. I sent a text message to my friend complaining that I had to stay late and pick up her slack because she refuses to do anything. I sent it to her husband, who also worked there, and had the same name as my friend. He drives up to work in a rage, barges in yelling and cursing. I was young and stupid, so I just held my ground and put on the most bored face I possibly could. I told him he needed to stop yelling. He threw the nearest object at me and I called the cops. 5 minutes later, the guy's in cuffs. My boss watches the security tapes the next day. The girl tries to explain how it's my fault. My boss says the text didn't include any vitriolic language. The guy gets fired. I know it's his fault for being a flaming douche, but just a wrong sent text message resulted in mobilizing the police and a guy getting arrested and fired. 2 stories come to mind. 1, sent text to dad asking for a quarter of weed, meant for dealer. 2, send pic of girlfriend's birthday present to her, meant for sister. My lady recently sent me a text that said, "I love the way your cock feels in my mom." She meant mouth, and I appreciated that, but still crying, laughing till I couldn't breathe. Texted my 60-year-old boss, director of human resources, instead of my fiance, then girlfriend, this my face when I eat the pussy, so good you punch me in the back of the head. I immediately apologized, tried to play it off as my friends grabbed my phone, etc., etc. She never responded. She never brought it up. Until I came to work following the day of my engagement, and my boss looks at me, places her fist on her head, and says, "Well, we all know why she said yes." I turned so very, very, very red. Well played. Not me, my sister. She once texted me, instead of her husband, about how amazing her masturbation session was. My dick just wilted. If you catch that you've texted the wrong person on an iPhone before the text had gone all the way through, quickly swipe up and put your phone on airplane mode. You'll get an error on the text that it never sent. You can now delete it. This also works for email. Not sure how to do it on Android. Edit. This may have only worked because my last phone was slow. Same way on Android. Just turn it on airplane mode. Error text didn't send. Delete text, everything is good. Dad was being a pain in the ass again. Careful when you get home. Sent to my dad. I once sent, "Don't be a little bitch," to my attending physician as a medical student. It was meant for my brother, but the attending had just sent me a text saying he was running late. Luckily, he laughed it off, but I almost died. Oh my god, I can't stop laughing. He was probably wondering why it went 0 to 100 so quickly, huh? Many years back, was flirting with this girl and was feeling the situation out as to if she was interested. I'd very recently started a new job about a month in, and my vice president's name was Scott. The girl I'm flirting with is named Samantha. She had to cancel going out for drinks with me earlier that day, and I ended up with some other friends. Got right wasted. She had texted me a bit later in the night saying she was really sorry and would have to make it up to me. So here I am in a cab, 2 a.m. Wasted! Looking at the text and think this is a smooth reply. You'll just have to make it up to me with a few hags and kisses. Yes, hags and kisses. Smooth. Now, it would be cringeworthy on its own, but instead I'd accidentally flipped back to the convo with my vice president and sent it to him. I get a reply. "I think this might not be for me, but it sounds like you're having a good night. See you Monday." Stomach dropped and I figured I'm screwed. Came into the office Monday and my vice president comes over and asks if I got my hags and kisses. 8 years later, he still brings it up from time to time. Amazing. I was once dating a chick, and I was doubting our sexual compatibility. I intended to send her something along the lines of, "Do you think you can handle being with someone as sexually aggressive as I am?" Unfortunately, I accidentally sent it to one of my customers I had recently sold a car to, a 20-year-old guy. He didn't respond. Obligatory edit. My highest rated comment is now about the most embarrassing thing I ever did. I texted a picture of my ass to my boss. I was wearing panties, but it was supposed to go to my BF. My boss was not happy. He wanted the panties off? A month ago, I was in an Uber with my mom. Lovely woman, but just socially oblivious. And she was making the most awkward and frustrating conversation with our driver, as she normally does. I messaged my sister, "Our mother is a moron. I can't handle this." My mom's phone buzzed, and as I realized my mistake, I felt my insides turn to liquid. My brother and I were flying back from my other brother's place. He's sitting next to me on the plane, and I get a text from him. "I can't wait to be inside you." Then you text back, "Me neither." And when he looks at you, just hold really strong eye contact. Please, no, I'm not ready to die yet. I texted my boss, "Hey, slut, how's the truck stop treating you?" He texted back, Okay, my sister really isn't a slut, nor does she hang around truck stops." I realized that I dug myself into a hole with my comments. I don't call my sister a slut all of the time. I will change both my boss's name and her name in my contact list. This is my highest upvoted comment. Thank you. Who was that intended to? Slut, didn't you read it? My sister. I like to tease her about being a lot lizard. I accidentally sent a picture of my erect dick to my dad. I sent "I love you" to my girlfriend, then told her wrong person, as I meant to send it to my mother. Holy shit, had you never said "I love you" to her? Dear viewers, I hope this video has cheered you up a bit. See you later. Bye.